Okay, next, this is example 2 of your day 1 lesson. Example 2 is going to show when B is negative and C is positive. We're still using our factor sum method, and we're going to find factors of positive 12, and we're still going to get their sum. So we're finding our factors of positive 12 to get our sum negative 8. Now when C is positive, when you look at your middle term sign, it's negative. That means now both integers that you pick must be negative numbers, because remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. So now we're going to pick our factors, which is negative 1 and negative 12. Sum will be negative 13. When your integer rule says that when you have the same sign, you add the numbers and you give it that sign. So since both numbers are negative, you add 1 and 12, you get 13, and since they're both negative, the answer is negative. Then you got negative 2 and negative 6, which gives you negative 8, and then negative 4 times negative 3, which gives you negative 7. Now we're looking for our middle term of negative 8. There it is right there, our negative 8. So the two integers we're using is negative 2 and negative 6. So all we have to do is write out our final answer. You see I'm doing the same routine every time. Now since this is a negative 2, you just write negative 2 or subtract 2. This is a negative 6, you just write negative 6. Some students want to say subtract negative 2. We have two negatives in the middle, but that's not what you do. Just write what you see. If you see a negative 2, just write negative 2. It makes it a little easier. That's a common error that I see most students make. They want to say x subtract a negative 2, but that's not how we're going to write it. What you see is what you put down. All right, that's your first example. That's coming from the textbook. The next example is mine. Mine as in is not on the textbook page. It's something I created, but it follows the example that we're doing where B is negative and C is positive. So now we're going to say x squared minus 9x plus 8. Our C term is positive 8. Our B term is negative 9. We're still using factor sum. So we're going to find factors of a positive 8. And then we're going to find their sum. Remember, since the B is negative, both factors have to be negative numbers. So we're going to do negative 1 and negative 8. We add them together, that'll give you negative 9. Negative 2 and negative 4. When you add those together, you get a negative 6. And that's all the factors of positive 8. And what we're looking for is a negative 9. There's our negative 9. Okay. And all we have to do is write out our final answer. So the x's come first, and we just write what we see. Minus 1. And then we see a minus 8. That's it. That's it, folks. You don't have to do a whole lot. This is example 2, where B is negative and C is positive. The next video you're going to see is example 3.